All right, so we are back trying to get one last episode in for the weekend. Hopefully we'll be able to get enough progress done on the main quest. We are just exiting the Corpusarium, and we are going to report to the Tower of Telfear to David Fear about the Dwemer boots of levitating that we have. Delte Fear. Sure, won't mind being disturbed. We get few visitors here. You can levitate, can't you? The study is on an upper level, accessible only by the central flywell. I'm afraid we aren't set up to accommodate barbarians or peasants, understand? Go up the ramps to the Hall Fear, and then walk around, looking up until you see a shaft above you. Then levitate up the shaft. Then look for Lord Fear in his study. Interesting. Oh. Look at that. It is trapped. Oh, lose Telfear 87 to unlock it. We have 1008 now. That's certainly interesting. I guess we don't have to deal with the trap. Oh, hi. We don't have to deal with the trap unless we are
Make it quick, Outlander.
healing it. Got Corpus disease, Outlander. That's a death sentence. It can't get cured. Get away from me. Far away. Athletics. Short blade and light armor. Travel together. I wonder why this was locked.
Speak, traveler. Where's that slave? Here not long ago.
It's interesting how many things are unlocked by the special keys that we got from this location. It's a very D&D-esque thing to have cool special keys that are useful in the location that you find them.
I'm waiting.
Here. He's above in his study. I hope you can fly. Can't get up there unless you can fly. Or have potions. Sorry. Quama egg. Oh, trading card for Quama. That's cool. I wonder if we will get in trouble if we take it. Oh. Okay, well, the answer is yes. Okay, I guess trading cards are for thieves.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
Mostly thieves. Oh, people are certainly treating us poorly because we have Corpus disease. Journeymans. Lots of skooma and a skooma pipe, of course. Devilish chest of drawers. Interesting. Oh, that's this person.
Probably nothing.
Nope. Indriel Thalos. A corporate disease Outlander, that's a death sentence that can't be cured. Get away from me, far, far away.
Speak, traveler.
Saints, Consolations of Prayer, Pilgrim's Path, Brioni sermons. Very tribunal. Yes, this is a very pious library.
I will listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
It's wearing Daedric armor.
3
Never
blessings,
fears.
sir.
Well, did you get my boots? No boots, no potion. Boots first, please. And now, I'll give you the potion. On the following condition, you must drink it here before my eyes. Should act immediately, and I need to observe you very carefully. Agreed? The roots of flying has been removed from your inventory. Yes, give me the potion. No, I'm not ready. No, give me the potion, but let me use it as I please. Good. Open your mouth and close your eyes. Good. Now swallow. Goodness. Good grief. Look. Look. It's working. Remarkable. Let me check your skin, your eyes, your tongue. Amazing. I think it worked. No sign of the disease at all. Of course, you still have Corpus disease, just like I planned. But all your symptoms are gone. Marvelous. I'll go try it out on some of the more desperate inmates. But I'll answer any questions you have before you go. See? No more symptoms. Amazing. And a bit surprised myself. Okay. Daughters, not bad for something born in a jar, eh? Charming, talented. Not daughters, really. A little project, a side benefit of my researches into corpse disease. Made them myself from my own flesh. Nice, aren't they? Alpha fear, Petit fear, Delta fear, and Oopsie fear. Quite a comfort to me in my old age. Haha. Argam Bagran is my oldest corpus victim. You'll find him in the bowels of the corpsarium. Interesting case. Yep, and we've read all this. Far more subtle and powerful than any conventional sorcery or enchantment. Okay. Some creatures do have very strong souls. Or do not have very strong souls. If you need to locate a suitable danger, cast Soul Trap on it and dispatch it. Do this twice while carrying a powerful soul gem, and give the gems to Lunena Hilarion. Wow. Okay. Filter Fear is the efficient one. Organized and orderly, she acts as our steward, manages accounts, maintains supplies, keeps the tower and corpsarium running. Whoa. Resist blight disease. Blight disease immunity 100%. Resist corpus disease. Corpus disease immunity 100%. Interesting. I wonder if the if the game replaced getting the potion cured with Davith Fear giving me a blessing that's blight disease immunity 100% or corpus immunity 100%. Common disease immunity 100% also. Ashborn 50%. Okay. Well, I guess we get it from him. The disease. What is Children of the Sky? Oh, yes. Children of the Sky. Nords consider themselves to be the children of the sky. They call Skyrim the throat of the world because it is where the sky exhaled on the land and formed them. They see themselves as eternal outsiders and invaders, and even when they conquer and rule other people, they feel no kinship with them. The breath and the voice are the vital essence of a Nord. When they defeat great enemies, they take their tongues as trophies. These are woven into ropes and can hold speech like an enchantment. Power of a Nord can be articulated into a shout like the Kai of an Akviri swordsman. Ki of an Akviri swordsman. The strongest of their warriors are called tongues. When the Nords attack a city, they take no siege engines or cavalry. Tongues form into a wedge in front of the gatehouse and draw in breath. When the leader lets it out in a Kai, the doors are blown in and the axemen rush into the city. Shouts can be used to sharpen blades or to strike enemies. A common effect is the shout that knocks an enemy back, or the power of command. A strong Nord can instill bravery in men with his battle cry or stop a charging warrior with a roar. The greatest of the Nords. They call to specific people over hundreds of miles and can move by casting a shout appearing where it lands. The most powerful Nords cannot speak without causing destruction. They must go gagged and communicate through sign language and through scribing runes. The further north you go into Skyrim, the more powerful and elemental the people become, and the less they require dwellings and shelters. Wind is fundamental to Skyrim and the Nords. Those that live in the far wastes always carry a wind with them. Wow. Cool. These are excerpts from a lengthy tome describing the nature of each of the Daedra. Azor, whose sphere is dusk and dawn, the magic in between realms of twilight known as Moonshadow, mother of the rose and queen of the night sky. Boethia, whose sphere is deceit and conspiracy and the secret plots of murder, assassination, treason, and unlawful overthrow of authority. Favicus Vile, whose sphere is the granting of power and wishes through ritual invocations and pact. Romanius Mora, whose sphere is scrying of the tides of fate, of the past and future as read in the stars and heavens, and in whose dominion are the treasures of knowledge and memory. Ursine, whose sphere is the hunt, the sport of Daedra, the great game, the chase, known as the huntsman and the father of man-beasts. Malakath, whose sphere is the patronage of the spurned and ostracized, the keeper of the sword oath and the bloody curse. Mehrunes Dagon, whose sphere is destruction, change, revolution, energy, and ambition. I think that's the one that we fight in Oblivion. Mephala, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, known by the names web spinner, spinner, and spider, whose only consistent theme seems to be interference in the affairs of mortals for her amusement. Mephala, I believe, is also Vivek's anticipation and the Morag Tong's patron, spider. Merida, whose sphere is obscured to mortals, who is associated with the energies of living things. Molagbal, whose sphere is the domination and enslavement of mortals, whose desire is to harvest the souls of mortals to bring mortal souls within his sway by spreading seeds of strife and discord in the mortal realms. Namira, whose sphere is the ancient darkness, known as the Spirit Daedra, ruler of sundry dark and shadowy spirits, associated with spiders, insects, slugs, and other repulsive creatures, which inspire mortals with an instinctive revulsion. I think the Namira cult in Skyrim is cannibals. Nocturnal, whose sphere is the night and darkness, who is known as the Night Mistress. That's the thief quest from Skyrim and Oblivion, I believe. Periite, whose sphere is the ordering of the lowest orders of Oblivion, known as the Taskmaster. Sanguine, whose sphere is hedonistic revelry and debauchery, and passionate indulgences of darker natures, also connected with the Dark Brotherhood. Geogorath, whose sphere is madness and whose motives are unknowable. Vermina, whose sphere is the realm of dreams and nightmares, and from whose realm issues forth evil omens. Also, I believe that is a specific dungeon in Skyrim as well. And Sheogoraths is always really fun. I remember them from Skyrim as well. Go into like a dream of the Mad King Pelagius III, I think. Especially marked for special interest under the heading Malakath, you find reference to Scourge, blessed by Malakath, and dedicated to use of mortals. In short, the reference suggests that any Daedra attempting to invoke the weapon's powers will be expelled into the void streams of Oblivion. Of the legendary artifacts of the Daedra, many are well known, like Azura's Star and Sheogorath's Wabjack. Others are less well known, like Scourge, Makhan's Hammer, Bane of Daedra. Yet, though Malakath blessed Scourge to be potent against his Daedric kin, he thought not that it should fall into Daedric hands. than to serve as a tool for private war among caitiff and Forsaken. Thus did Malakath curse the device such that, should any dark kin seek to invoke its powers, that void should open and swallow that Daedra and purge him into Oblivion's void streams, from thence to pathfind back to the real and unreal worlds in the full order of time. Okay, well, we're cured of Corpus disease. I gave David Fear the Dwemer boots from Yagram Bargran, and he gave me the potion. It didn't cure me, but it did remove all apparent signs of the disease. David Fear said he didn't actually want to cure me, he just wanted to remove the harmful features of the disease while preserving its virtues. It worked. And now David Fear is eager to test the potion on subjects in the Corpusarium, but I must hurry back to report to the Spymaster and search for the lost prophecies. Okay. I wonder if he will mind if I take this. Ooh. That's interesting. Daedric's Sanctuary Amulet. For the key 1155. Oh, do you care? Doesn't look like it. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Okay, great. I don't know what that is. What is this? Daedric's Sanctuary Amulet. Seems pretty valuable. 33 Dwemer coins. And Volendrung. Paralyzed for 4 seconds, drain health 10 points. The Waters of Oblivion. There's so many good books to read. The Waters of Oblivion. 120 numbered ages in the void that fated folk had grown deep schooled in evil. Then the bright gods resolved to punish those faithless spirits and shatter the unruly caitiffs, those huge unholy scathers, loathsome to the light. They repented exceedingly that they had gazed upon Oblivion, and seen there the first of dark kin, and welcomed them as brothers and sisters. The principalities of victory beheld now how great was the wickedness of the wayward spirits, and saw that they were bold in sin and full of wiles. They resolved then to chasten the tribes of Daedra, and smart dark kind with hammer in hand. But ever shall darkness contest the light, and great were the powers that breathed the void and laid waste upon one another, and no oath might bind them, so deep were they in envy and perfidy. For once the portals are opened, who shall shut them upon the rising tide? Okay. Little creepy there. Spirit of Nirn. Lorcan is the spirit of Nirn, the god of all mortals. This does not mean all mortals necessarily like him or even know him. Most elves hate him, thinking creation as that act which sundered them from the spirit realm. Most humans revere him or aspects of him as the herald of existence. The creation of the mortal plane, the Mundus Nirn, is a source of mental anguish to all living things. All souls know deep down they came originally from somewhere else, and that Nirn is a cruel and crucial step to what comes next. What is this next? Some wish to return to the original state, the spirit realm, and that Lorcan is the demon that hinders their way. For them, Nirn is a prison, an illusion to escape. Others think that Lorcan created the world as the testing ground for transcendence. To them, the spirit realm was already a prison. That true escape is now finally possible. Interesting. I think we've read many of these before, but it's been a long time. Akfir means Dragonland. Temriel means Dawn's Beauty. Atmora means Elder Wood. Only the Red Guards know what Ukunda ever meant. Akavir is the kingdom of the beasts. No men or mer live in Akavir, though men once did. These men, however, were eaten long ago by the vampiric serpent folk of Saci. Had they not been eaten, these men would have eventually migrated to Tamriel. The Nords left Atmora for Tamriel. Before them, the Elves had abandoned Aldmeris for Tamriel. The Red Guards destroyed Yokunda so they could make their journey. All men in Mer know Tamriel is the nexus of creation, where the last war will happen, where the gods unmade Lorcan and left their adamantine tower of secrets. Who knows what the Akaviri think of Tamriel, but ask yourself, why have they tried to invade it 3 times or more? There are four major nations of Akavir: Tamal, Saci, Tangmo, and Kaputun. When they are not busy trying to invade Tamriel, they are fighting with each other. Kamal is snow hell. Demons live there, armies of them. Every summer they thaw out and invade Tangmo, but the brave monkey folk always drive them away. Once Adasum, dear Kamal, a king among demons, attempted to conquer Morrowind, but Alamexia and the Underking destroyed him at Red Mountain. Interesting. Saci is Snake Palace, once the strongest power in Akavir before the Tiger Dragon came. The serpent folk ate all the men of Akavir a long time ago, but still kind of look like them. They are tall, beautiful, if frightening, covered in golden scales and immortal. They enslave the goblins of the surrounding isles who provide labor and fresh blood. The holdings of Saci are widespread. When natives of Tamriel think of the Akaviri, they think of the serpent folk because one ruled the Cyrodiilic Empire for 400 years in the previous era. He was potentate Versidu Shaye, assassinated by the Morag Tong. Tangmo is the 1,000 Monkey Isles. There are many breeds of monkey folk, and they are all kind, brave, and simple, and many are also very crazy. They can raise armies when they must, for all of the other Akaviri nations have, at one time or another, tried to enslave them. They cannot decide who they hate more, the snakes or the demons, but ask one, and he will probably say snakes. Though once bitter enemies, the monkey folk are now allies with the tiger folk of Kapotun. Kapotun is the tiger dragon's empire. The cat folk here are ruled by the divine Tosh Raka, the tiger dragon. They are now a very great empire, stronger than the Saci, though not at sea. After the serpent folk ate all the men, they tried to eat all the dragons. They managed to enslave the red dragons, but the black ones had fled to then Potun. A great war was raged, which left both the cats and the snakes weak, and the dragons all dead. Since that time, the cat folk have tried to become the dragons. Tosh Raka is the first to succeed. He is the largest dragon in the world, orange and black, and he has very many new ideas. First, Tosh Raka says, is that we kill all the vampire snakes. Then the Tiger Dragon Emperor wants to invade Tamriel. Well, it doesn't sound very credible, partly because of the language. Oh, key to Telfir 637. See if that will... if they like that or not. Oh, doesn't seem to mind. What about the propylon, though? Oh, doesn't seem to mind that either. Maybe gold? Gold is owned. I wonder if unlocking it and seeing what's inside is enough to make them angry at us. Wow, Scourge. Okay, Davithfear has Scourge. That's a blunt weapon that is one of the best in the game. Summon Tremor, 30 seconds, summon Scamp. Oh, he doesn't mind. Or just didn't see? Well, that's very, very good. We now have Scourge. That's really, really strong. You know, I might switch to having this weapon. You know, like, just, I feel like as my witch character, if I found that, that would be extremely, extremely valuable, and I don't think I could ever not use it. Jeez, that is going to change some of our skills, though. Yep. Well, Alfie Fear.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
Okay. Resting here is legal. Ah. Yeah, two-handed blunt or one-handed blunt? This is 42 weight. My gosh. I mean, I'm curious where each of these... Oh, there, that's what the lock is for. Bluegrass plot or steel dart. Sure. Chest of drawers. Common amulets. Common belts, gloves, rings. Extravagant skirts. Common, and common. Okay. Well, a little suggestive there that extravagant certs, potentially for his daughters, quote unquote, are definitely in here. As well as some skooma.
Is there something I can do for you?
Lunar Lorcan. Alteration 41. That's great. That's exactly what I want. The Lunar Lorcan by Faldrune. I will not go into the varying accounts of what happened at Adamantine Tower, nor will I relate the war of manifest metaphors that rendered those stories unable to support most qualities of what is commonly known as narrative. We all have our favorite Lorcan story, and our favorite Lorcan motivation for the creation of Nirn, and our favorite story of what happened to his heart. But the theory of Lunar Lorcan is of special note. In short, the moons were and are the two halves of Lorcan's flesh divinity. Like the rest of the gods, Lorcan was a plane or planet that participated in the Great Construction, except where the eight lent portions of their heavenly bodies to create the mortal plane or planet. Lorcan was cracked asunder, and his divine spark fell to Nirn as a shooting star to impregnate it with the measure of its existence and a reasonable amount of selfishness. Macer Secunda, therefore, are the personifications of the dichotomy, the cloven duality according to Artaeum, that Lorcan legends often rail against. Ideas of the anima, animus, good/evil, being/nothingness, the poetry of the body, throat, and moan/silence as the abortive, and so on, set in the night sky as Lorcan's constant reminder to his mortal issue of their duty. Followers of this theory hold that all other heart stories are mythical degradations of the true origin of the moons, and it need be said that they observe the Hollow Crescent theory as well. Of course, the Hollow Crescent theory. Interesting. Well, we certainly didn't have that book. Current events. Let me tell you about current events. The Great Houses are always fighting each other in the Great House Wars. There's always trouble between Outlanders, non-Dunmer Imperial colonists, and the Dunmer natives. The Temple is at war with a rebellious faction called the Dissident Priests, a secret cult called the Six Houses killing Imperial citizens. Misshapen monsters and diseases called Blight Disease are spreading from Red Mountain. The volcano where Dagathur and his ash vampires live. Dagathur is the evil immortal enemy of the Tribunal Temple cult. The Temple blames Dagathur and his host for all the evils that beset the Dunmer and Morrowind. Dagathur dwells in fiery caverns beneath Red Mountain, served by his kin and legions of monsters. Blight Disease. Quama foragers range far from their home colonies, deep into the Ashlands, as far as the Ghost Fence. Foragers exposed to blight storms may become infected and may return and infect their queen and the whole colony. An infested Quama mine is a great hardship for the mining community. Blighted eggs are inedible, and miners catch blight diseases. Ridding a colony of blight is expensive and dangerous because of the aggressive behavior of sick Quama foragers and warriors, and the risk of spreading disease. I wonder if we can do that with our Vivek spells. If we can just cure the monsters of blight disease. Great houses. In modern times, Morrowind is ruled by 5 great houses. House Lalu, House Redoran, House Dovani, House Endoral, House Dress. 3 of these great houses have territorial interests in Vardenfell. The other 2, Dress and Endoral, are not represented on Vardenfell. The 3 great houses on Vardenfell identify themselves by their traditional colors: red for Redoran, yellow for Lalu, brown for Telvanni. Thus, members of House Lalu may be referred to collectively as Yellows. Great House traditions derive from ancient Dunmer clans and tribes, but now function as political parties. Dunmer Great House membership is largely a matter of birth and marriage, but Imperial colonists may also become retainers of a Great House or may be adopted into a Great House. Blight diseases resist common herbal magical treatments and are of 2 kinds: wasting disease, which attack one or more of the organism's systems, and abnormal growth diseases, which distort the organism's functions and structures. Natives avoid exposure to the blight and wear special protective garments when traveling in blight-prone regions. Quama foragers range... Okay, and we've just read that. The blight. The blight is a weather phenomenon associated with Vardenfell's colossal volcano, Red Mountain. Persistent with the Ghost Fence... Within the Ghost Fence, that is, within the crater on the volcano's slopes and intermittent near the volcano, the blight is a health-threatening, ash-heavy volcanic cloud. Plants and creatures exposed to the blight may contract a variety of blight diseases. Blades is a prestigious service order for citizens demonstrating the greatest loyalty to the Empire. To be named to the Blades by the Emperor is a great honor, and publicly acknowledged members serve openly in noble courts and diplomatic posts. Privately, many Blade members act as the Empire's intelligence agency. Such agents conceal themselves with the secret identities, operating in disguise as couriers, observers, and spies throughout the Empire. Okay. Dwemer, literally the deep or deep-counseled or secretive people, are the fabled lost dwarven race whose runes and splendid artifacts are scattered across Tamriel. Elves use the term Dwemer, connoting variously deep-delving, profound, and close-counseled. Imperial's usage is Dwarven, derived in fable from the affectionate regard of the giant races for their little Dwemer friends. Interesting. 10 races commonly encountered in Morrowind are Redguard, Breton, Nord, Altmer, Dunmer, Bosmer, Imperial, Khajiit, Argonian, and Orc. Dunmer are the native majority, but on Vardenfell, heavily colonized by Imperial outlanders, only 1 in 2 individuals are Dunmer. The other 9 races are about equally distributed, with more Argonian and Khajiit slaves. As mercenaries, House Lalu prefers Imperials and Redguards, Redoran prefers Nords and Altmer, and Tavani prefer Bosmer and Bretons. Vardenfell's greatest challenges are its mutually hostile creatures, its cruel and untamed wilderness, and the troubling phenomenon of the Blight. Temple and traditional Dunmer cultures are in direct opposition to the values of the Imperial conquerors' colonists, and the interests of each great house conflicts with the interests of the other great houses. Only the Imperial Legion and the Duke's shrewd policies prevent political disputes from expanding into civil unrest or warfare. Even the legions, however, cannot extend their protection into the sparsely inhabited wastelands of Vardenfell, where bandits, necromancers, witches, fiends, and monsters find refuge, emerging to threaten the lives of explorers, colonists, and traders. The greatest and most obscure threat is the Blight, a mysterious weather-like phenomenon emanating from the great crater of Dagath-Ur, warping and poisoning creatures in its path and creating diseased horrors that attack travelers in outlying settlements. Well, this person knows a lot. This is very, very knowledgeable person. But I guess we should leave. Yep. We got our own share of very expensive artifacts. Pretty much cleaned out all the major chests. And we should probably go.
Yes, Outlander, what do you want?
Just gonna check real quick. See if we forgot anything.
Yes, Outlander, what do you want?
Doesn't look like we did. Okay. So we
Yes,
are leaving
Outlander, what
behind
do you want?
a steel warhammer, which was too heavy for us to carry. And we'll keep Bolendrug and the mace of Scourge, I believe. We'll have to get someone to train us in blunt weapon, apparently. Yeah, I mean, Scourge is just incredible. Let's see, 4 to 36. 10 to 52. Well, Bolendrug sure is strong. Let's see about levitation. Yep. Get a good look at it. Oh wow, very pretty. Alright. Fan hammer, of course. Gorgeous. We'll have to sell some things, of course. Whether we want to do that here. I mean, I guess this sanctuary amulet. Not sure what that is. What it's used for. Definitely want to keep it though. Don't want to sell it at all. Okay, well, I suppose we shall sell our things and then teleport back to the blades, and then we shall pick it up from there. Alright, well, thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will see you next time. Peace.